Hey everybody, Mike Shreve here, and welcome to our Thursday Night Live, which is our Quick Tip Thursday. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to stay consistent. I know what it can be like sometimes when life gets in the way and you're really struggling to maintain consistency about where you're trying to go, whatever you're trying to do. You know you want to get to a certain level and you're struggling to stay consistent. I'm going to give you three things. One is called airtight goals, okay? Second is the Seinfeld method, which you may have already heard about. You've probably seen this before. And then last is no feelings, okay? So let's get rocking. This is our Quick Tip Thursday. Here we go. Number one, if you want to stay consistent, what you need to do is take that big goal that you have and you need to break it down into, let's just say, daily to-dos. So let's say that you want to build a email list and there's like 10,000 things that you have to do to build an email list, right? You got to find this and you got to do this and you got to go over there. What you need to do is you take all of that and then break them down into daily tasks. If possible, daily repetitive tasks. That's the key. You can see that I do these Facebook Lives daily. I do a daily email. I do things that can become habitual. When you can turn something into a habit, especially if it's a big goal and you can turn it into something that you do every single day and you do that thing at the same time every single day, in the same setting every single day. It's a very boring way to live, but it's in a very effective way to get things done and to stay consistent. So take the big goal that you have, try to chunk it down into daily actions you can take as best as you can. Even if your daily action is to say, from this time of day to this time of day, I'm going to work on whatever is next in getting me closer to that goal. Does that make sense? So daily, airtight daily goals. The reason that we taught that I am calling it airtight goals is because there is in one of the very, very early sort of self-development productivity guides, there was this idea of living in airtight compartments. And what they meant by that is that if you think about an old ship, or even modern ships, I suppose, do this, where each section of the ship is compartmentalized so that if there's a hole in some other area of the ship, they can seal it off. This is the same exact idea. We want to take this massive goal and break it up into tiny little sealed off where all we're thinking about is this tiny little piece and not worrying about the entire thing all at once. So airtight goals that occur daily if possible. Next is, this is my favorite way to stay consistent. It's called a Seinfeld calendar. So when Seinfeld was very first starting his comedy career, and throughout the entirety of his comedy career, as far as he has mentioned and as far as I understand, he would simply do this. He would make a calendar and you would have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And this is what your calendar looks like, right? Can you guys see that? Okay. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And what he would do is every single day, he would write a new joke. Regardless of whether he was touring, regardless of whatever else was going on in his life, and he would have this calendar, and then all he would do is every time he would write a joke and successfully complete that one thing, that one critical daily action that he had to take in order to move himself forward, he would simply mark it with an X. His goal was simply to get as many X's as possible, right? Now, that's the Seinfeld method for staying consistent. It's a very relatively easy way, and he would put that calendar up on his wall. I have mine just over there for my daily emails and for my daily Facebook Lives. Well, what happens when you get sick, like last week? So I got sick, or when life happens, or when you're doing this daily, check box every single day, what do you do? Like, what if this is what your week looks like? This is when no feelings comes into play. Now, here's what I want to talk about here is I'm not saying to become a cold, dead machine. What I'm saying is developing the skill of objectivity towards your own actions, to not assign feeling to absolutely everything in your life. Another way to call, another title for this, or another thing to call this, is mindfulness. So you've heard of like meditation and mindfulness training, like Dr. John Kabat-Zinn is the mindfulness teacher that I follow. He has done a lot of medical research on pain management, PTSD. He does a lot of stuff at Stanford. And his approach to mindfulness is really this simple. Being able to develop the skill where you can sit at what he calls sitting at the bank of your mind, and like that your mind is like a river and all of the thoughts are the river, and learning how to sit at the bank of the river of your mind without jumping in, right? So our brains are designed to basically, we call it the monkey brain, be a little scattered, have ideas and assign meaning and assign emotion to everything that happens to us all of the time. What I am suggesting to you is developing the skill, the muscle, the approach of mindfulness, which is to say that just because this happens where there's breaks, it doesn't mean anything. It's simply an occurrence. It doesn't have an emotional meaning. Just because I was sick and I missed my daily emails and my Facebook Lives last week on Thursday and Friday, it doesn't actually have an emotional meaning for me. It doesn't mean I'm bad. It doesn't mean I'm terrible. There's no meaning because I'm developing the skill of mindfulness. I highly recommend that you guys go research a guy named Dr. John Kabat-Zinn. His middle name is spelled Kabat, and then it's just the typical Zinn with a Z, and then John, Dr. John Kabat-Zinn. And try mindfulness, explore it as a practice, and see if it's something that can help you to maintain consistency, because this part's easy. Taking your goal, breaking it down into a daily action. Okay, you can do that. You know, getting a calendar, putting it up on the wall and marking it when you do your whatever that daily action is. That's all easy. The difficulty is this part, is when the feelings come into play, when they start to confuse things. Because, I mean, how many times have you done this? Like, right, you start a workout program and whether you're using the Seinfeld calendar or not, you're, in your mind mentally showing up every day. Maybe you're doing P90X, right? And you're showing up, you're doing the program, and then you miss a couple days, and then maybe you do it again, and then you miss a couple days, and then what happens? You give up. And I mean, that's not meant to be offensive, but like for whatever emotional reasons, you're kind of like, never mind, I'm not going to do it anymore. This then is the key. Okay, my friends, that's it for our Thursday night tip of the night, or Thursday night quick tips, whatever we're calling this, Quick Tip Thursday. I hope that this helps you and serves you. I hope you all have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.